Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hudspeth with Agent Mastermind. Thanks so much for joining us today on Agent Mastermind. I got a friend of mine knocking it out of the park in Atlanta, Georgia. Her name is Connie Carlson, as you can see on the screen right here. She has been in the business since 2004 and has 4 agents, 3 full-time staff, which we're going to talk about. And she's going to be hiring an inside sales agent. And the best part is, she's going to share at the end what she does for her agents. So if you're looking to set up a team, it's an amazing conversation that we're going to have, and she's going to show you what she's doing to help her agents have growth, freedom, and coolness. 2 is she's going to share with you how she's done it and all the different stuff. So Connie Carlson, thank you so much for being here today, and welcome to the call. And I can't wait to hear your story and all that you have going on.
Well, thanks, Scott. I'm excited to be here. Lots to share.
Lots to share, and I've had a couple conversations with you, so I love talking with you. I love your energy. I love your passion, so I'm just thankful that you're here. So thank you so much for being here. So, basic story questions, Connie. So why'd you get into the real estate business? Like, I'm sure you didn't grow up, go to college, and go, I want to be a real estate agent. That's not typical for what we grow up with, right? Like, same with the mortgage business. We don't grow up thinking, I want to be a mortgage banker. So how'd you get in?
Kind of. My dad, I grew up on a dairy farm in Iowa. If you ever saw the movie Field of Dreams, my dad planted that corn. That was my uncle's field. And my dad was a broker as a hobby. He sold farms. So I kind of grew up with the real estate business as a kid. And so when I was just graduated from college, I had a friend who gave me an opportunity to be a commercial real estate appraiser for Arthur Andersen. They had just sold Union Pacific Railroad right-of-way, which meant they had to value all of the railroad right-of-way that Union Pacific owned. Imagine all the way through Colorado, all the way through California.
Can't even imagine.
So that's how I got into real estate, was actually as a commercial appraiser back in 1991. But then when my kids were born, who they're now both going to college, but when they were born, I didn't want to travel anymore. So I decided to be a stay-at-home mom, which was awesome. And then they went off to school, and I remember feeling like a dog when they came home with my tongue hanging out, ready to play. And, they'd tap me on the head and walk away. And I remember the day. I remember very clearly the day I was cleaning the toilets thinking, I did not go to college for this. Like, I could hire somebody to do this. So I said, well, you know what, real estate, residential real estate, even though I felt that was below me because I was a commercial real estate person, I thought it'll give me freedom, it'll give me flexibility, I can be there when my kids get off the bus. So I did that in 2004, and I thought it was going to be like a part-time mommy job. And then in 2005, I was the #1 agent in our office of 120 agents. So my little part-time job wasn't so part-time after that.
Good for you. Excellent. So let's go into what was one of the biggest problems or obstacles holding back like an entrepreneurial agent to grow their business? There's something that's getting in the way of helping them do that.
Well, we can talk about 2 things. What held me back, but what holds most people back. I think what holds most people back when they get into real estate are 2 things. And everybody's heard this one thing for sure, which is they don't lead generate. Like, they get so busy doing all the little detail stuff that they don't lead generate. And so their business never takes off the way they want it to. And then I think their fear of leverage is a huge reason why most agents' business don't grow. They're so afraid. And we'll talk a little bit, about leverage. But my biggest thing is the fear of being too busy. So there's this thing, I was a Keller Williams agent for 14 years. And there's this thing called entrepreneurial to purposeful, and it's like a glass ceiling. And it's like you get busy, and then all of a sudden you got so much business going on that you kind of step away from your business. So you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is crazy. Why am I working so hard? And then you step back down, and you just keep hitting that like false ceiling, and you can't get past that. And the only way to get past it is to take chances and to do something that's uncomfortable. And maybe that means hiring your first assistant or giving up working with buyers. That's what I had to do. So I think that's the biggest thing.
So just getting out of your, like, so would you say focusing on what you love to do and delegating the rest, or like finding out, okay, what is it that really gets me excited, and then farming out everything else? Would you say that's the biggest challenge? And then I think a lot of people talk about, well, that cost me money. How do you justify? How do you tell people like that? Like what because if I hire somebody that's going to cost me money, and then, oh my God, then that's more money out of my pocket.
Well, okay, if you hire somebody, you have to think about, like, this is what my coach told me years ago. I hired somebody because it was going to cost me money. So she said, well, how much are you going to have to pay? So I said, well, I don't know, $15 an hour, say. And how many hours a week do you need administrative help? Well, 10. When you're starting, maybe you just need 10. How much is that a week? $150.
Yeah.
Right? So that's $600 a month. Now, if they were helping you 10 hours a week, and you spent those 10 hours at the spa, or
right.
sleeping in, or doing more, surfing the web more, yeah, you're going to lose $600. But if you spend that 10 hours a week lead generating, networking, meeting people, you're going to easily recoup your $600.
So what you're saying, it's not about what it cost you to hire somebody, it's what does it cost you not to hire somebody if you're doing the money. I love the way you put that, though. If you go spend time at the spa,
it's
zero,
so,
right?
you hear that all the time, like, oh, come buy my product, because one sale, blah, blah, blah. The biggest mistake agents make when they hire an assistant is they don't fill that time in with lead generation. They fill it in with more junk.
Yeah, creative avoidance.
And it doesn't work out.
Yeah. So what story can you share of how this problem obstacle was solved? Like, how did you solve this? I mean, obviously everybody has it. Where do I start? Maybe a new agent on the call, or maybe an agent that's hitting that ceiling every single month.
Okay. So I just want to kind of talk about my story, because we haven't really talked about, I was an individual agent, then I had a team. I became a team leader for the Keller Williams office in Atlanta, went back into sales because of my commute. I was a MAPS coach. And through that process, about the time I was doing MAPS, actually it was right before I was a MAPS coach. But anyway, I got to this point. My dad died that year. I had my son got in a car accident. It was just a lot of stuff. And I just broke down one day. And I was probably selling by myself 75 homes a year with one assistant.
Wow.
And I told my MAPS coach, I said, I don't even know why I don't even think I need coaching. I'm not even sure I want to stay in this business anymore. I mean, I broke down, and I hit a major, major stumbling block. And I don't think that there's an agent listening on this call who hasn't got to a point who said, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Right.
And so my coach said to me, well, let's figure out what it is you like about this job. And I said, well, can I start with what I don't like? And she said, yeah, because I was in a really bad frame of mind. And so we wrote down, and I said, I don't like working with buyers, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. And she said, all right, we're going to take all that off your plate, and you're going to focus on the things that you identify you love. So my sister, her name is Tracy Jennings, she owns the RE/MAX office in Ames, Iowa, her and her husband, Bill. She sent me a Zig Ziglar quote that said, you don't build a business, you build people. And then people build the business. And that just became my focus. And I decided that I was going to take my team leader skills and my coaching skills, and I was going to build the ultimate real estate team at Keller Williams. So the way I overcame that was I came up with a very strategic business plan in terms of who I needed. And then I called it infrastructure. What is the infrastructure? What is the website that's going to generate the leads? How are the leads going to be distributed? What kind of database are we going to use? And all of our systems were identified, written, and put in some technology system to make them easy. I hired 7 people, fired 4 that year. That was 2014. We got to the point by the end of 2014. We had 3 full-time agents and 1 full-time staff. And then in 2015, we added 1 more staff. And in 2015, we were number 2 top producing team in all of our county. And there's thousands of agents in our county. Wow. So, I mean, we just blew it out. I mean, it worked so well. But the biggest thing was we had a business plan. I mean, in 2014, I tried like 3 or 4 different CRMs. My poor agents stuck through that, and be like, let's try this one for a month. Let's try this one for a month.
Yeah.
But it was worthwhile.
So the big question, an amazing story, by the way, and I'm so glad that you stuck to it because we would have never met. You realize that, right? Like we would have never been on this call if you'd have failed, right? So I'm excited that you stayed with it. So the big question coming in, like what CRM system did you end up with, if you don't mind sharing?
So we use Follow Up Boss.
Okay.
Dan Corkle is a great guy, by the way. Now, the one thing that drove me crazy about a CRM is there's not one CRM that does everything you want it to do. And
Okay.
I was trying to find that. Like, why can't I find one that'll do direct mail marketing, one that will, do this, do this. The great thing about Follow Up Boss is he doesn't try to be the jack of all trades, but he has API capabilities. So, MailChimp's a great mailer, so he just connects with MailChimp. So all our mass mailings go out of MailChimp, but if somebody unsubscribes to MailChimp, it automatically unsubscribes them in our database. Because I had 4 different databases. I had to hire a part-time person. Anytime someone said, take me off your list, I had to hire a part-time person to go to all our different databases and make sure they were unsubscribed. I mean, that's not efficient.
No, right on. Great. So Follow Up Boss, that's cool. So awesome story, by the way. So what specific takeaways have you learned from growing this team of hiring, firing? You hired 7, fired 4. Helping other agents that now have stuck with you, and now you have several agents with you now, and you were the number one, which is an amazing story. What takeaways have you learned from that you might be able to share with some people on the call?
Well, I think everyone is happier when we focus on what we love and leverage the rest. Even with my staff, we are very, like they may come on doing 2 or 3 different type of jobs, but after a little while, I'll say, which one do you like better? Okay, I like doing listings. All right, let's keep you in the listings and get you out of the front desk position because you don't like the front desk position. It's obvious, but you're a great employee, And also, the other thing I learned, and we're going to talk a little bit about building a successful team, but we keep the team is really involved in the decisions that are made. And I don't believe again, going back to Zig Ziglar, I used to be like a top-down team leader or a top-down broker where it was like, this is what you're going to do, this is how many calls you're going to make, and blah, 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 blah. And we've totally changed that. It's now from the bottom up. And it's changed the culture of our team dramatically.
Got it. That is so awesome. Okay, cool. Good takeaway there. So really what you're saying is stop doing the stuff you hate. Stop. Just like life is too short. If you hate it, find somebody to do it. And one of the takeaways I got previously is you don't necessarily, I think we have this mindset of everybody needs to work 40 hours a week. Or if I'm going to hire somebody, who would want to work 10 hours a week? Could you touch on that just a second? Because I'm sure that people go, well, who's going to want to work only 10 hours a week, right?
Well, I needed somebody. One of my past clients is a stay-at-home mom, and she has to be home for her kids, but she just wants something to do. And so I give her all of those things that let's say my listing coordinator was responsible for blogging once a week about a local event. That goes great until we get 7 listings one week, and she's so jammed that that gets pushed to the back burner. But that's still important stuff. So, Kristen, my stay-at-home mom, she works sometimes only 30 minutes a week for me. I mean, she's just happy to do whatever. So you'd be shocked. I mean, there are definitely people who only want to work 10 hours a week. A lot of stay-at-home moms would love that job.
Yeah. And I wanted to hear that message and get that message out there, so thank you for doing that. One of the questions coming in is, and I don't know if you're going to cover this or not, and if you are, we'll just cover it then. What are you using for a lead source? When you, like you say, you have a lot of leads coming in and calls and all that stuff. What are you using for that?
Well, we have an account with Commissions Inc. that we've had for about 3 or 4 years, and we get about 350 leads a month from them. We are doing Facebook ads. We just started doing that. And then we do a lot of online reviews, so we get quite a few. Those are very good leads, by the way, that people who call because they found you online. And and then most of our business is past client referrals.
So you say find you online. So you have a big brand, like, so do you concentrate on building your brand on a daily basis, weekly basis, so that people can find you on online?
Yeah, I'm very online focused. So I have a great website, liveloveatlanta.com, if anybody want to go check it out. We're really proud of that. We're constantly putting content on that. I do Coffee with Connie videos twice a month with the help of Viral Marketing. They're awesome. So they help me produce. I send them the video, they produce it, they send it out to my database. We have a very structured, as of last year, system to get online reviews from our clients. We're being very intentional. In fact, my front desk lady who started this week, her bonus is based on how many online reviews we get.
Very great idea. Okay, cool. And then does she take those online reviews, throw them out there all over the place?
Yeah. Okay. What we do is we encourage, for every online review they give us, we name in a hat to win an iPad at the end of the quarter. So we kind of have a raffle. So that it's a little incentive for them to do that. Once we get an online review, we take a picture of them at the closing holding a sold sign, and we kind of keep that in our folder. And then when they give us the online review, we go on Facebook, we post the picture of us at the closing with their online review. We post it on whatever team member, agent's website, Facebook page it is. We also post it under on our website, Live Love Atlanta. So if you go on there, you can see our reviews. And then if it's a really good review or a really good success story, we might even post that as a boosted post on Facebook to get it up to even more people. Yeah, we're doing everything we can to promote those online reviews.
All right. And the CRM system again, Katrina got in late. What is the CRM system again? Follow-up boss?
Follow-up boss.
Follow-up boss. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So somebody's asking a question for new agents, and we're gonna cover that here in a little bit. What where do you start if you don't have the money? So you know what? That's a good question right now, if you don't mind. I don't have the money, Connie, and I need to. Of course, I'm just getting started. What advice would you give somebody like that?
Okay, so I had no money either when I started.
Nobody does, right? I wish. We're all there. Been there, done that.
Yeah, we're all there. Well, you know what? I had my database. I put people in my database, like my son at the time was like 8, but I put the roster from when he was 4 and played baseball. I mean, everybody I could possibly think of. I did Brian Buffini. I mean, that is all I did my first 2 years. Let's see, I got my license April 2004. By the end of the year, I had lost $17,000. By the time I paid for my real estate fees and my signs, I mean, I was working my tail off and I had nothing. Yeah. And then in February the following year, I made $120,000. Wow. It was just like, you know what? It's like a new agent. This is what they're like. They take all these classes, they learn how to do FSBOs, they learn how to do expires, they learn how to network, they know how to do blah, 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 open houses, all this stuff. First of all, you have to do something. But don't be like a hamster in a ball. Like we used to put my hamster in a ball when we cleaned out his cage. It was like this clear ball, and he would expend a ton of energy, and he would always go underneath the desk in the kitchen. And then he would be run from one corner to the next corner in the desk, and I would clean out his cage. He never left the desk, from under the desk, because he was just running from corner to corner. That's what new agents do. Oh, let's try FSBOs. Oh, I tried that 2 days. That doesn't work. That sucks. Oh, I'm going to try to open up. Oh, no one came. Well, that sucks. And then they try like 10 different things. Nothing works, and they quit. I did referral. All I did, I worked, I did exactly, you know what, before you don't know what you're doing, just follow somebody who did it. I followed Brian Buffini, and I'm not saying he's like the answer to everything. I'm just saying, if you ask me what I did, that is all I did for 2 years. Sphere
of influence, and just tell them what you're doing is more or less what you did.
And if you don't have a big sphere of influence, make it. My goodness, get involved with things, network, Yeah. Figure that out. And if you're not a networker, if you're not that much of a people person, then figure out what it is that you do like to do and just make that your focus. And become an expert. For example,
if you like horses, you like golfing, you like maybe flowering or like whatever. Like find something that you can talk about with somebody. Is that what you're kind of kind of referring to?
Well, and not everybody, I mean, those are networkers. Some people are prospectors. Some people would rather talk to people they don't know. So if you are a prospector, if you're a high D dominant driver, you don't mind getting on the phone and making call after call after call for 4 hours, then by all means, circle prospect or do FISBOs, do expireds, but you know what? Be an expert at it.
Yeah.
Because if you do it for 2 days, the guys who are doing it as experts, they're going to walk all over you because they have their scripts, their dialogues, they know how to do it.
Amen. What are 1 or 2 skills you've built that account for your success with your ideal client? Love that question.
I'm very, very, very systemized, so I want to provide my clients with absolute highest level of service. We do the absolute best pictures. We have big real estate signs. We do staging. And then we have developed a very systemized plan, so we're communicating with them consistently. We call for showings. I'm surprised how many people, when I show their house, they never even call me for feedback. That's just such an easy thing. So what we did was we took our high level of service and we created a 151-step marketing plan. So I think if you go 151stepmarketing.com, you'll see our 151-step marketing plan. There's your freebie for the day. But we, our clients rave about the quality of our service and our customer support and how much marketing we do and how cutting-edge technology we offer. That's what we do.
So in all reality, would you say, and I kept saying communicate, process. When you peel back the curtain and you go, all right, Connie, is it really just communication is what people love because nobody communicates?
Well, I think that's probably a good 70% of it.
Okay, I would agree with you.
But if you don't know how to negotiate, but you're really good at calling them and telling them how nice they are, I mean there's only it's character competence. Yeah. This is a Buffini thing. Like, maybe they love your character because they've known you forever, but they don't trust your competence. Yeah. Or maybe they know your competence, but they don't trust your character. So it's this game. It's like the pedal. It's like the gas and the brake. You're pushing on each and one. You got to be presenting. Like the people in my neighborhood, when I first got my license, I sat with them at the swimming pool. I played tennis with them. My kids were growing up with them. Of course, they liked my character, but they didn't know my competence. So to prove my competence, I wrote market reports and sent it to everybody in my neighborhood about my neighborhood, to show them that I was smart and I cared about the neighbors.
Whew, that was deep, man. I don't know if everybody caught that, but competence. So, yeah.
Character and competence. What's getting you in the door and what's going to help you close it? What if you're not getting in the door, is it because they know you're competent but they don't trust your character or vice versa?
Yeah, that's very, very, very strong. Okay. That was my good takeaway for the day. And then of course, the 151stepmarketingplan.com. Sincerely appreciate that. All right. So how did you go from acquiring those? Where do you start? We've talked about so many things and so many things you're good at, so many things you're not. Character, competence. How do you acquire these things?
Well, I kind of wonder. Okay, this is going to sound bad. I shouldn't say this. Lord, I apologize for saying this. What are you doing all day? I mean, if you have an 8-hour day job and you don't have any clients, you should be acquiring skills.
Yes.
If you're a new agent, you got 9 hours a day to work. I want to see 3 hours a day in lead generation, 3 hours a day in training, because you don't know what you're doing, and 3 hours a day working on your business, setting up your systems, creating your follow-up boss or your database or your listing presentation. When you're new, it's a 9-hour day, even as a new agent, right out of the box. And then the biggest mistake I think agents make once they become, more skilled or they have business is they stop learning. I mean, I do all sorts of events. I mean, I try to meet people who are successful. It's the law of the lid. And that's a John Maxwell term, law of the lid, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, that book. He says, surround yourself. An organization will only come up to the level of its leadership. And so if you're an independent contractor as an agent, surround yourself with people who are at a high level. so that you are pushing yourself to that high level. You're not stuck stagnant with people who are just mediocre agents.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up. So I just read a quote, and it says, "Do not share your $1 million dreams with penny thinkers." Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the
Yeah.
yeah. So hang around.
You
So
got
you
it.
are who you hang around. You are who you hang around. Hang around
Yeah,
somebody
you are who
who's
you
going
hang
to
on,
make more
and
money. Yeah.
constantly learning. Like people ask me all the time, how do you do everything? Like, and how do you get all this stuff done? You know what? I'm probably not supposed to be multitasking, but I do. If I'm at the gym and I'm on the elliptical, I'm watching a training video, maybe something Chris Smith put out, or something from Viral Marketing, or I just collect them in my little email box, and I just go on my iPad and I'm on the elliptical for 45 minutes and I'm learning. And that's a great way to start your day.
It's funny, and have you ever watched any training on body language?
No.
I want to buy this for you. So it's a course, and just for being here, it's my gift to you. So I'll buy this for you. And they say that 7%, like it's 97% body language, 7% of what you say.
Absolutely.
Isn't that crazy? So I'll get you set up with that. It's really, really, really good. And they use some Shark Tank examples of when people are selling stuff and it's really, really good. So body language is unbelievable. So talking about training, I just bought that course the other day, and I'm like, okay, man, I want to learn, because it's so much mental of what we do and like psychological. It's all like fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of like, okay, if they say no, like, oh, that didn't work, like you said. It's so crazy, right? So you have to find ways to overcome that and hang around people that'll pick you up when you fall down. So Connie, what additional resources, books, seminars, websites can someone go to better at building this skill?
There's so much out on the web. Anybody who, when I started 14 years ago, you had to hunt stuff down. And now there's so many things. So some of my favorite books, I'm looking at them right now. You want to hear them?
I would love to hear them.
All right. The first book I read, which was a friend, was E-Myth Revisited, and that's basically about creating systems that are in a place where all of your clients receive the same level of service, even if you hire 4 people now to do the work for you. Everyone on my team and everyone who'll join my brokerage will be offering our clients this same level of service. Just like McDonald's. The hamburgers taste the same no matter where you buy them. That's E-Myth Revisited. Okay. Fierce Conversations, great book on how to learn how to speak to people to become compelling in when you speak. Another one is Spin Selling. That's a complicated book, but boy, if you can master that, you're going to be a great salesperson. Michael Mayer, Michael Mayer, 7 Levels of Communication. He's a good friend of mine. Michael, if you like networking, Michael Mayer has written a book on networking. It's a nice little parable about that. Another book, of course, I love Gary Keller's Millionaire Real Estate Agent, but Shift is a great book. Shift.
Okay.
And then anything by John Maxwell. Of course, I like that. So those are some of my top books.
Excellent.
All right, I love water cooler. If you're a techie person, like I like to stay on top of technology. Following Chris Smith and Jimmy Mackin on their water cooler, which if you go on YouTube and just go pound water cooler, have you ever watched them?
I have not, but I'm going to.
Okay, so they're awesome. So they're always cutting edge technology. They teach you how to do it the right way for marketing and stuff. And they created this program. It's on, I think it was on every month, but now they've kind of changed their format. And they used to do it at like 9 o'clock at night, and you're supposed to be drinking beer with them. And they actually do cuss sometimes, which it just, the whole concept is like instead of the team meeting or the sales meetings you go to where they have you talk about Caravan and all this stuff you really don't care about, they talk about stuff that's going to change your business, and I love it. So
beautiful. Love all those suggestions. So I'll repeat those books. So let me just repeat those books if you don't mind, really quick.
Yep.
Law of the Lid.
Well, that's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell.
Okay, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Okay, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. E-Myth Revisited. Yep. Fierce Conversations. Love. I can't wait to hear that one. Spin Selling. 7 Levels of Communication with Michael Marin, Shift with Gary Keller, John Maxwell. I just wrote down John. It's the Pound Water Cooler with Jim Smith. I think there was another name on that too.
Chris Smith. Chris Smith.
Chris Smith. Okay, cool. Chris
Yep.
Smith. All right. All right.
Oh, and
Beautiful.
Chris Smith
Thank you so
just
much.
wrote the Conversion Code. That's another great book. Just came out.
Conversion Code. All right. Beautiful. Conversion Code. Love it. Okay. All right. Let's finish this thing up. Building a successful team. Connie, how do you keep your team motivated?
Okay, so one thing, well, the core of it is we, instead of saying, okay, we're going to sell 200 homes this year and you're responsible for selling 30 of them, instead of doing that, that's top-down leadership. What I do around October is I meet with each agent separately and I say, how much money do you want to make next year? And why? And why is that number? You know, why did you choose that number? Okay, so we talk about that. And then using Gary Keller's, from Millionaire Real Estate Agent, we back into how many phone calls they need to make to do that and how many appointments they need to go on. And when that's done, we come back to their big why and say, okay, this means you're going to have to be doing this much work based on the fact that you have a son that's in middle school who plays softball on a traveling team. Are you sure that this is the number you want? I mean, are you going to own this number? And then sometimes they will say, you know what, I don't want to work that hard. I do want to be part of my son's life, or I want to work harder than that. I can work harder than that. Let's make the number higher. We work on their budget individually, and I work on my individual budget for my sales. And then I don't know what the team's number is going to be until I add everybody together. Like, it's always kind of exciting to see what's our team goal, because it's a team goal. It's not a leader goal. So that's where we start. And then I do one-on-one coaching with every agent and every staff member once a month. So we meet for 30 minutes and talk about, more of a coaching thing, like where are you struggling and what can I do to help you, and, how's this going and how's that going. So I think that they all very much appreciate that. We have a gigantic we moved into a new office space down on historic Marietta Square, and we have in our break room, the whole wall is a chalkboard, and Elizabeth, who's my listing coordinator, is a calligraphy professional, and she did this gorgeous wall. So each agent and each staff person has a square, and in the square they put how many, the agents put like what their goals are for lead generation and how they're tracking every month. And then they also put their actual, what are their goals for this week and what are their goals from last week. And then we have what we call pep rallies once a month or once a week, and each agent and staff member has to present their board. So it's a stand-up meeting in the break room where everybody's talking about what they have going on and what their successes are and stuff like that. Every single person has a bell on their desk, so if they do an appointment or something good happens, they ring their little bell, and it sounds like this. It sounds like this. And then
I love it.
And
that
then
is so cool.
And then we have a great big bell on the wall for after closing. So when someone comes out of the closing, we take pictures, and we make even the other agents' clients ring the bell. Like, everybody has to ring the bell. And then the other thing that we implemented, which has been great, that was something Jimmy Mackin and Chris Smith mentioned, was we use Slack.com. Have you heard of Slack?
I have not. I don't believe, no.
Okay, slack.com. It's a free website you go on, and it's kind of like a group me, or like a group chat kind of feature. So we have our Slack, and because what was happening is with a team, once you start building a team, you're ending up, there's emails flying everywhere, there's text messages. It's kind of hard to keep track of everything that's going on, right? So Slack is just for internally in our team communication, and you can like send a Slack message to someone specifically, and it'll show up just like a text message on their phone or on their computer that, hey, you have a direct message. So like I just got one from Emma, requesting we change an address on something, okay? But then we also have channels, and this is where it gets fun. We have channels where everybody can see just fun things. So we have one channel called the entire team, where if we're communicating with the whole team, or we have one called sales, but we also have one called you can't make this up. So and you can't make this up, is where we post like really funny things that happen in this real estate world. And we're going to write a book, like really funny things we see, or funny things that clients say, and we just have a blast. And sometimes it's just for fun, and we might post a picture of our kitty, or today I posted a picture of a bike I really want to buy, and it's a fun way of that. And everybody on my team is young. I've hired really young people, so they clicked right onto the technology. They love it.
Do you have a marketing one, or like so you have a can't make this up, sales, marketing, just for fun?
Ours are one for admin, so just the admin.
Okay.
Broker Q&A, those are like things related to broker questions. Entire team, just for fun, sales. We have one called signs, because I have 2 sign runners. So whenever we need to request a sign be delivered, all of that is done in that chat window. So we have a record of everything that's going, and it's totally searchable. Then we have one.
You just invite the people that want to be a part of that, or would your whole team be part of the signs?
Right now, signs would just be our 2 sign runners, our 2 admin who requested, and then the agents who actually have listings. So I want to be able to see, was that sign delivered? I can just go to the signs.
Got it. Cool.
Another great one is things to order. So, hey, here's like, we need paper towels. Abby said we need paper towels. Emma said we needed paper. Somebody said we need a red and green envelope. So we keep a track of everything we need to order, and then the admin person goes in there once a week, puts all those things, and makes the order.
Love it. Dude, that's brilliant. You're an amazing person, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, so dude, I've never taken so many notes in my life. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, I'm just like, yeah. All right, what's your next step? Like, I mean, you have so many things going on, and you just own so many awesome things. And what's next for Connie Carlson? I mean, like, seriously.
So, we talked about that glass ceiling that you have a hard time getting past. Well, last year in May, I totally took a huge risk, and the Keller Williams office that we were at was growing really quickly, and we had 7 people working in 240 square feet. We couldn't even all come to the office at the same time. So that was being anti-productive. And so I thought, you know what, they started having mega agent offices, and I thought, I've always wanted to be on the historic Marietta Square. Maybe I could do that. And I wanted to get like 1,600 square feet. Well, the only space I could find was 2,400 square feet, which is pretty big. But I ended up like jumping off the cliff and renting this beautiful retail space. We have 40 feet of window frontage right on the historic Marietta Square. We have a decorated modern farmhouse. Like, it's gorgeous. So we did that, and we were in here for a year. And then come January, my whole team, as a team, we did this as a team, we decided to open our own brokerage. So I opened Live, Love Atlanta, which was a huge, huge risk, and everybody on my team jumped off the cliff with me 2 months ago. Almost like not quite 2 months ago. Okay. So the next step in my business is going from being a team leader with a big national franchise to being a boutique broker, a real estate broker of a boutique real estate firm. I hired a coach. I strongly believe in coaching. I hired Jack Miller with T3 Fellows and Leslie Ebersole. And so because they teach you how to be a real estate agent, they do not teach you how to run a real estate brokerage. I will tell you that. So I want to, I have developed my compensation plan. I think there's a big hole in what's offered, at least in my market. Most of the companies, not all, but most of the companies in our area offer like a cap. So you pay a certain amount to that broker, and then you get 100%, and they kind of let you be an independent contractor and run your own business, which was great for me because I'm pretty entrepreneurial and pretty creative. But there are a lot of salespeople out there who really don't want to get involved in all this marketing and how to do a Facebook ad and how to get all these social reviews and, how do I hire a stager and how do I pay for that? And then I want fancy signs, and how am I going to beat Connie Carlson at a listing appointment because she's got all this stuff and I don't have all this stuff, and on and on and on. So I am going to offer that level of service. All of those things I told you in that 151-step marketing plan, we're offering at Live Love Atlanta, but it's not a cap. It's going to be 30% split for everybody. It's not complicated. There's nothing, no favors to pay for everybody, anybody. It's fair. Fair is a big deal to me. So I'm 5 agents by the end of the year.
So what you're saying, which just gives me chills, is like so somebody could join your team, and this isn't a recruiting call, but
I know, and I didn't want it to be,
yeah,
but it kind
yeah,
of
I
sounded
know, I know, I know, but I think this is so important, so I'm going to bring it up because I live, eat, and breathe this stuff. Like, get out of your own way is really what I say. Like, stop doing all like somebody else is out there can do it. So what you're saying is you have put a team in place of somebody that can do 100. Like, if you're looking for the 151 marketing, what was it called again?
I think it's 100. Let me see. 100 www 151 step marketing.com is what it is.
I think let me just say, I think it came up.
Yeah.
What is it? 151
stepmarketing.com.
151stepmarketing.com, which comes up to your site, I believe.
It comes up actually to a Jumag thing because it's such a big.
Is that it? Yep, Live, Love, Lana. That's it. So this is it. So what you're saying is if somebody goes through this and whatever's in here is the 151 thing, this is really cool, by the way. Wow, amazing. So you have a team in place for somebody that could literally come with you, plug in, and you're going to do all this stuff for them. All they got to do is go sell.
Pretty much, yes.
You know, and people go, well, no, what if I'm gonna not make as much money. Well, you're gonna have the cap is the problem. Like, people don't understand that. You're gonna have a cap. You can only do so much as a single person. Again, this isn't a recruiting call, but I run this every single day. The conversations I have are, well, I want to be my own thing. Okay, well, you're gonna be limited to be your own thing, and it's not easy to hire people, fire people, hold people accountable, keep them motivated, all that stuff you've been talking about. So, brilliant, by the way. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Unbelievable what you've shared with us today. So many golden nuggets here. I already downloaded Slack while you were talking.
Oh my God, Slack is the
best
technology we implemented last year.
That is so cool. Communication's everything. So if you had guys, if anybody's in the Atlanta area and you're looking to grow their business, take their business to the next level, break that ceiling that you have holding you back, Connie, is it okay? Like, what's the best way to communicate with you, or any questions? I don't want to bombard you because there's a ton of people on this call, and please have respect for Connie because she is busy and she does have a very successful business and a new business the last 2 months. So I know.
And my daughter graduated, and I moved too last weekend.
I know. The first time I talked to Connie, it was a month and a half ago. She goes, Scott, I can't do it in May. I'm like, moving. My daughter's graduating, and I'm like, okay, when can you do it, Connie? So I'm so thankful.
They can call me, text me, send me an email, or any of those things.
Okay, very, very cool. Thank you so much for being here. Any final words for everybody on the call? You got a big group here. Again, we covered so much. So, guys, to get a copy of this recording and who's your coach again? Who'd you say your coach was again?
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to a bunch of different coaching organizations depending on who you are and what you're. Okay, so Buffini and Company was who I started with. I've also coached with MAPS Coaching at Keller Williams if you're a Keller Williams agent. I've also coached with Michael Mayer on his book. I love group coaching. I'm kind of a group coaching thing. And right now I'm doing independent broker coaching with T3 Fellows, Jack Miller at T3 Fellows.
Awesome. Connie, thank you so much. I wish you continued success. I will get with you on that body language thing. I think you'll really enjoy it. Your whole team could use it. It's just one more thing, just one more thing to put in your belt, and I'll get with you on that and get that over to you. And
that'd be awesome.
I sincerely thank you for coming on and sharing all this stuff with us and everybody on this call. And it's just been a pleasure having you here. So you're welcome back anytime, my friend. Anytime you got, and I would love to maybe in 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, kind of check in to see how your new brokerage is going. And I'm guessing you'll have those 5 agents before the end of the year, but with all the stuff you're doing, so it's just a matter of.
I usually set these goals, and my coaches are like, seriously?
I know. Like, you might have them by the end of next month. If anybody knows what you're doing for them, that would probably be a realistic goal. So, all right. Thank you so much, Connie. Congratulations on all your success. I wish you nothing but the success of anything you deserve, and you'll get it. I know you will. But
and if they have any questions, they can email me. I love helping people, so that's part of it.
Yeah, it shows.
You know what? Here's your takeaway.
Okay. All right.
The fastest way to learn something is to teach someone else.
There you go. Thank you so much for that. That is the truth, too. So
pay it forward.
Unselfishly, right?
Yeah. Pay it forward.
So there you go. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for joining us on Agent Mastermind. Honored and to be a part of your guys' life. Hope you got some golden nuggets out of this you can implement today. If you want a copy of the recording, get with your loan professional that sent you the invite. And if you didn't get one, just go to our group page at facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind, and we will see you same time, same place on Agent Mastermind next Tuesday. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.